Hello, hi everybody. I hope you're all doing well and that you enjoyed the last video with the paintbrushes that we made out of natural materials. This is the second half of the workshop and I thought I'd start off with some drawing exercises. What I thought we would do with the paintbrushes we made is do some experimental mark making, but to warm up I've got a couple of exercises that might help warm up our sketching and our drawing and our looking skills. This is just for fun and just to practice, so there is no right or wrong way around it, and I think that it will be interesting. So I've got 3 exercises I thought we'd start with, and then let's not call them exercises, we can call them games. We've got some natural things that I picked up from my garden again. So this is something I picked up, which there are lots of them in my garden. This is mint, and there are lots of it, so I felt like it was all right to pick. I also found a snail shell, but there isn't a snail in it. I don't know if you can see that. So it's empty. So I thought that might be quite interesting to draw. And then some rosemary, which is something you can use in cooking. It's a herb you can use, and I got that from my garden as well. So yeah, I just want to say that this is 3 warming up exercises to get us ready for the mark making that we're going to do with our paintbrushes that we made. And I hope you all had fun making some interesting paintbrushes from materials that you found outside. So what I thought I'd do first is get some paper and just do a little experiment with drawing with the other hand that I don't normally use for drawing. So I don't know if you are right-handed or left-handed. Maybe you're ambidextrous. Maybe you can draw with both, which is lucky you if you can. But I draw with my right hand, so I'm going to practice with my left hand first, which is going to be quite tricky. So that's one exercise. The other exercise is just looking at the thing you're drawing. So instead of looking, I don't know if when you're drawing something, you look at the page and then you look back at the object and you look back at the page again. This one's going to be just drawing, just looking at the object that you're drawing. So we've got those first 2 exercises, and then the third exercise I thought would be to look really hard at the object that you're drawing and then close your eyes after about 30 seconds. So maybe you've got someone else to do this with, and you close your eyes and then you draw on the paper with your eyes closed what you can remember from that object. And I just have to say again, this is just for fun. It's really interesting to see what happens. It's all about learning or figuring out different ways of looking and different ways of seeing things. So it's nothing to do with getting something right. There's no right way of doing this. It's all about seeing what we end up with. And you can have some really interesting and exciting marks that come out of this as well. So I'm going to have a go at all of these 3. The first one I'm going to have a go at, I know you can't see my face at the moment because I wanted you to see the paper, but at the moment the first one I'm going to start with is the rosemary, which is this here, and then I'm going to do the snail shell, and then I'm going to do my mint. You can draw anything you like. You don't have to pick anything from the garden. You could take something from your bedroom. You could take a teddy bear or something that you really think has an interesting shape. I've also got some other things that I'm going to bring in later on for the exercise. So yeah, you could choose anything you wanted that you could see around the house that you're allowed to take down and draw. So I'm going to start with the exercise that is just looking at the object. So you can't see my face, but I can promise you I'm not cheating. So I'm just going to be watching the object, and I'm not going to be looking at my paper, but you can see the paper. So I'm going to see how it goes. So I hope you can see this. So I'm starting with the rosemary. That's this one here. So I'm looking at the stalk, and I'm not looking at the paper at all. Another nice exercise is not taking your pen off the paper, but at the moment I'm going to take it on and off, although that might make it harder, so you're probably looking at me going, what is she doing? She's doing it all wrong. But actually this is all about just looking at the shape. So I can see, I'm not looking at the paper, but I can see that rosemary has all these lovely long spindly shapes, these lovely long spindly leaves, but it's probably not going on the right place. You're probably going, what is she doing? But this is what's quite fun about it. So I know there's a bushy bit in the middle here, and each little leaf, I don't know if you can see from the screen, but has little lines down it. So I'm looking at those and I'm trying to draw the lines, but it's quite difficult when you can't see the paper. And I promise I'm not looking at the paper, even though it's in front of me. I'm not cheating. So actually my glasses are in the way, so I'm just looking at the rosemary, and that's why probably the leaves aren't in the right place. But this is just a really quick warm-up exercise, and it's just about looking at what's in front of you and not worrying too much about what it is that you're drawing on the page. So I like the shapes of these leaves here, so I'm just going to be a bit bold, and I'm just going to draw the shapes that I can see. And I'm kind of enjoying this, so do you know, I'm going to go straight onto my snail with the same exercise. Looking at the paper, I'm just looking at the snail. I can see the snail's got this lovely spiral shape. I don't know if you can see that here. I'm sure you've seen snails. Here's the snail, so that was really good fun. So I'm going to start with the inside of the snail. And I can actually see a full spiral, although it disappears there a bit. And it gets bigger on that side. And then it goes right round, and then it comes up to join it there. And then it's got stripes, sort of. So I'm just drawing some stripes like that. Right, so I'm going to have a look now, and I'm going to see what I've drawn. Well, that's okay. I don't know if what you think, but I thought that was quite fun. So I'm going to see if I can do that with the mint now, and I hope you can still see this drawing. I'm going to start here, and I'm not going to look at the other drawings. Actually, I'm going to cover them up. So I'm going to cover those up, and I'm just going to be up here now. I'm going to draw the mint, and again, I'm going to not look at the mint. So I'm just looking at the shape of the leaves. I'm looking at all the different lines on the leaves. I'm really not looking at the page. And again, it doesn't matter what comes out. This is all about just having fun with the pencil and seeing what happens and being expressive with it as well. You know, you can be quite fast. I know I can see the little spikes there, so I'm going to do some spikes. But just looking at those leaves. And I'm going to give myself a time limit now. And I'm going to stop. There. Ta-da! So see how you get on with that drawing exercise. It's quite fun. And the next one I'm going to do, that was me not looking at the paper. And I think I got some nice shapes there. Got some nice spirals, I got some nice sticky bits, I got some nice bits here. So now I'm going to do the same one, but I'm going to draw with my left hand, because normally I draw with my right hand. So I'm going to do a little video of that, and you can see that video that will come next. So have fun with this one, and do as many as you like. And it's quite fun, and you don't have to worry about it, and see what comes up. Okay. Right, so I'm going to give it a go. So I'm going to dip my paintbrush into the ink, and I'm just going to make some marks for now. I'm not even going to draw anything particular. I've got my snail shell here and my rosemary twig if I want to experiment with painting, but at the moment I'm just going to see what it does on the paper. So here goes. Wow, that's amazing. I love that. I had a feeling this was going to be my favourite, but we'll see what the other ones do as well. So I'm just dipping it into the ink. And if you can see, it's making this really cool wiggly shapes on the paper. So in a way, you don't really need to worry about what you're drawing. Just think about the marks you're making. I'm going to do a few more down here. Amazing, that's so great. It looks like hair or something. And it's really thin lines. Can you see how fine the lines are? So I'm really chuffed with that. In fact, I'm going to take this off so I've got a bit more space for you to see on the camera. And I'm going to do a few more up here. But I can't use up too much space because I want you to see the rest of my paintbrushes that I've done. Just going to do one more. You get really fine lines and then thick lines as well, depending on how much paint you put on your paintbrush. So, hooray! I'm really pleased with that. That's my first one. So far it's my favourite, but we'll see. It's the only one I've used. The next one I'm going to use is the teasel. So I'm just going to dip the top bit of this into the ink. I don't know if you can see. And see what happens. I'm going to start up here. Makes a good scratchy noise. Oh wow, it's kind of like the other one. Maybe make sure you don't have any clothes that you don't want get covered in paint, because it might be quite messy, this. Wow, so that makes either a really thick line or really tiny little lines. That's quite fun, isn't it? So I could use that over the top of my other one. Brilliant. Okay, I feel like I could get more out of that teasel. There's lots of spikes on there, but it's difficult because I've got a small pot, but you'll probably have a bigger pot. And don't worry about splashes and drips, because if the paint's quite watery, it means it'll get onto the paintbrushes more easily, so it'll probably be better. But don't worry, so long as you've got loose paper down and you've got clothes that you don't mind sort of maybe getting a bit messy, then splashes and drips are fun, because this is about just having fun and sort of seeing what marks we can make. It's kind of an abstract painting. Oh, so my paintbrush is coming apart there, so I'm just going to hold it there. So I've got some interesting brush strokes going on there. I'm going to do a square, and then I'm going to try one more, and then I'm going to put a little video together and see what the rest of them do. So this was my old Christmas tree actually, and it's got lots of nice bits at the top, but it might be too scratchy with the watery ink. So I'm going to just hold them like that actually, and I'm going to dip just the top one in. Ah, that's really nice. That's a really nice medium line. Actually takes quite well. Oh look, I've got two different lines at the same time. That's almost like calligraphy. Can you see that there? So I'm trying to write my name. See if you can write your name with the paintbrush that you've made. Or maybe a message to somebody. See if you can write a letter. Or just have fun with the marks. That's fun, I really like that. That was a surprise. I think that might be almost more my favourite than the first one. Well, I seem to have filled my page quite fast, so I'm going to do a bit more on this, and then I'm going to put another video together with my other four paintbrushes. So you'll see them in the next video, but we made them last time together, and I really hope you have fun with this. It's a really fun, easy project just to enjoy seeing what marks come up and not thinking about it too much. And see you soon.